Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to another DevTap tutorial. Today we're going to be discussing about how to create and send purchase orders to vendors using Zoho Inventory. So let's get right to it. So before you're able to create and send purchase orders to vendors, you have to log into your Zoho account, and if you don't have, register first and then log in. Okay. And then now from your home page, we'll go to the purchases tab, and then we go to vendors. Why we go to vendors? We have to add first a vendor so that we can set a purchase order for this vendor. Okay, so after you've created a vendor, let's go now to purchase orders. So how do you create a purchase order? So when you come to the purchase order module, you can see here this create button, so you just have to click that, and then you select a vendor. So right now I'm going to select my vendor that I created previously, so this would be test vendor. And then now we have you have to select a location, delivery address, whether the location is from the something that you have set before or from a customer. Let's just say I want to set it on a location. This purchase order number can be either written manually or it can be auto-generated. So right now I just made it auto-generate the purchase order numbers, and then the reference number, which is a optional field. You may or may not write down anything in here, but let's just say I'm gonna write down just random reference numbers. The date, which is based on the date today or the current date you have set it. And the delivery date, you may or may not fill it out. The payment terms, whether if it's due on receipt, net 15, net 30, due end of the month or next month. And then here you have to select an item that is you are purchasing. So let's say I'm purchasing test item 3, and then I'm setting a quantity of 3, and this would be reflected immediately in the amount. And once it's reflected, it will give you the total. And then once everything is all and done, you just have to click here, save and send. Now when you click save and send, this will save the purchase order and then create an email template for you to, maybe if you want to edit out the email that would be sent out to the vendor. So let's click save and send. So see, purchase order has been added, and you'll see that immediately an email template is made, and you can review the email that would be sent, or you may edit it as you want. And you see here there's an attached purchase order PDF if you want to attach the purchase order as well as PDF, or you may just click check mark if you don't want to send it. So let's just say I want to attach it along with the email, and when it's all is good, I just click send. Now you'll see that it's now issued to the the purchase order is now issued. So you can see we have yet to receive the bill and yet to be received. And that is how you send a purchase order. In order to view this, when that they really received this purchase order for this vendor that we have set, you just go to vendors and then click the vendor that you have set the purchase order from, and then go to the purchase order. You'll be seeing here from the overview, and then you go to the transactions tab, and then you go down to purchase orders, and then you'll see here there will be the list of purchase orders that is associated to this vendor. So that is how you create and send purchase orders to vendors. Today we'll be discussing on how to record a bill against a purchase order using Zoho Inventory. So ways. You have to first log into your Zoho account, or if you don't have a Zoho account yet, you just register, and then after you register, you just have to log in to your Zoho inventory using your registered Zoho account. Alright, so once you've logged in, let's just go to the purchases mod tab, and then you just have to go to a purchase order. So now, before you're able to record a bill against a purchase order, you have to create a purchase order, right? And to create the purchase order, you also have to set up first a vendor. If you don't have a vendor yet, you can just create by clicking this and then filling out all of this information, but you may just fill out the required information here and the primary contact, and then you can go to a purchase order after you create a vendor, and then you create a purchase order. Just fill all of this out, then click save and send after when you're done. So just leave and discard changes for this. Now you have created a purchase order and you have a vendor. Let us now record a bill against it. So let's just select a purchase order, this one. Then as you can see here, what is the next move for this, or next action for this purchase order. So here is, you can see, is a convert it to a bill or create a receipt to complete your purchase. So a receipt would be a different story. So let's just say you just want to convert it to bill. You can either click this button or you can click this one here. So that's the two ways in doing it. Let's say I want to convert it using this button. Let's just click it, and then you'll see here it will create a new bill with the vendor name, and you can set up you'll have to set up the bill number, the expense URL. You may or may not fill it out. This would be just optional fields like the member name as well. The bill date would be the current date you have set the bill, or when you're creating the bill, right? So, and the order number would be based on the purchase order. So yeah, and then let's just say the bill number would be 12345. Okay, 12345, and then the subject. Let's just leave this blank for now. And then you would be able to see here the items that you have in your purchase order. Would be, in my case, would be the test 3 item with 3 quantity and would amount with 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 in pesos. And once all is said and done, you just have to click save as open. And now the bill has now been saved as open, and you can review it here. See? And you may now be able to print this or download it as PDF in order to review it, or if you want to review it or show it to your vendor. So you can see here, you may also customize this to change the template, edit it, or anything, but today we're just focusing on how to purchase this bill. And then if you are now ready, you can record the payment for this bill. So you can just click this after this bill has been paid. So let's say they have already paid it, and it will show here every information that's required or optional for you to fill out. So yeah, there would be bank charges if there's any, if you deduct here tax, what payment method they use, whether from the bank transfer, cash, check, credit card, or you may add a different payment method, whether they made. You can set here the payment made on, and the reference number. So these are just optional fields that you may fill out or not. And here, as you can see, there's also a send a payment made email notification. Now you can either set this to ticked on or ticked off. Let's just say I want to tick it on because I want to send this email. I want to let the vendor know that the bill has been paid, and I want them to be notified through an email, not only through this to this platform in Zoho Inventory. So let's say I just want to save it as paid, and now the payment made to the vendor has been recorded. So you'll see here now the bill has now been paid and it's now paid. See? So that is how you record a bill against a purchase order. Today we'll be discussing about how to add vendor contact details and track purchase history in Zoho Inventory. So let us get on to the discussion or the tutorial. So before you're able to do any of this, you have first to log in to your Zoho account or register a Zoho account and then log in to Zoho Inventory. And then when you're now in your homepage, you just have to go to purchases and then go to the vendors module. And then in here, you just have to come here to add vendor. And you will now be able to add the vendor. So let's say you want to add John Smith, and their company name would be random company, and then their display name would be between any of this, whether you'd use the company name or the primary contact name. Let's just use the company name. You may set up an email address, so I'll just set up an email address. And then you may set a phone number so that the vendor may be contacted not only through the email address but through the phone when you are creating a purchase order or purchase receipts or sending them the bill or providing them the vendor credits. So yeah, you do that. And you may also fill out all of these tabs. For example, the other details in here, you can select a tax rate. See here, with a 10% tax rate, and then the company ID and the currency that you would be using for a company. I'll just set it to Philippine peso. The payment terms, this would be the payment term for when you're setting a purchase order. Yeah, that is associated to a vendor. For example, when you create a purchase order and then you chose this vendor, the payment terms would be immediately set to due on receipt or whatever you choose here. So due in the next month and whatever you choose here. So I'll just choose due on receipt. And documents you may add here, or if you want to provide the socials of your vendor, you may also add it here. Just have to provide a link here for the Twitter or X, Skype, and Facebook. Or if you have a website, you could just add it here. The address, you can set where the company or the vendor is based on. Say is based on the Philippines. And then let me write that again. And the address, the city, the state, the zip code, the phone number, and the fax number, if applicable. And for the billing address, it can be also be copied into the shipping address if you're using the same billing address for your shipping address, or you may write, another shipping address if you are shipping it on a different location, right? And just take note of this. There's a note here. And you may also add contact persons associated to this vendor. So you may write any individuals that will be associated here. Their first name, last name, their email address, their work phone, and their mobile number. And you may also add other fields, the Skype, designation, and department, as if you want. And you can just add or click this button if you want to add more contact persons associated to this vendor. Right. And then here we have a custom field. You can write down the member name, the debit member name, reporting tags, and the remarks for this vendor. But this is for internal only. So now that I have written all of the information regarding my vendor, I can just click save, and then their information will be seen here in the overview, where you can view their contact details. And here, as you can see. And then you can also see here that we have a transaction page where you'll be able to see all of the transactions you had with using this vendor, or in related to this vendor, right? For example, the bills, if there are bills associated to this vendor, bill payments, purchase orders, purchase receipts, and vendor credits. And mails, if there are emails sent to this vendor, any statements, and any comments. All right, so I can show you an example here. Let's go to test vendor, and you'll see this would be what it would look like if there are already transactions for this vendor. So we have the bills here. It will show up like this, and when there are many information already, or data, it would be on the next page. Yeah, and then see here, and then here the mail sent to this account, and statement here. As you can see, this would be the statement for this month. And when you are ready to send this statement to them, just send it. Click this button to send the email to them for them to receive their statement of account for this specific vendor. Or you may also do something like this by clicking all this and then have the bulk action to print our vendor statements, something like that, if you want to do that. Or you may also export these vendors or import new vendors, right? So that is how to add vendor contact details and track the purchase history for these vendors. Thank you for watching.